a question for you because you deal with a lot of people out in them streets, and I feel like this was a movement of disgruntled, fragile men. I feel like it was who because they have these conferences. They call them alpha male conferences.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you got to, it's like if I got to tell you I'm a good person, there's a question mark there. If I have to tell someone, if you have to tell me you're an alpha male, what does that mean? Like, you're not an alpha male if you have to keep telling people that's what you are. So I feel like, and I feel like there's a Joe Rogan type that they idolize. And before him, and I'm going to say this, y'all can at me because I know he's part of this family, Sirius XM family. Before him, it was like a Howard Stern type. And I'm like, Howard Stern to me was the exact opposite of anything of what it means to be a man to me. Not even down to his, and I'm not gonna.
Said that he would say, he's talking about how small his member was, that he couldn't he constantly was self-deprecating.
So why was he such an attraction to these type? And I feel like those are the same type of people who stormed the Capitol, who grew up on Howard Stern, loved him, who now look at Joe Rogan, put him on a pedestal because he can do horse ivermectin and beat COVID because he's tough. But back to the original question. And I feel like leading the charge in this country on all fronts, even in Congress, are these folk like Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, people who were losers, who in school, who you would throw in a lot. And I'm not saying I've ever done this, but if, you would throw in a locker room, who you would give a wedgie to, like a wedgie, and pull it all the way around, but they have now a modicum of power. Trump, who's got probably yellow and brown stains in his underwear, would never would never in real life, without the millions, be able to have any game, period.
Right.
Yet you got to be president of the United States and people followed you. 71 million people voted for you on this thing. And I'm like, I was just having this conversation today with somebody too. I was like, what's weird? And I want to talk about this. That people who, get to lead, like Hitler, for example. Hitler, who was a twerp, yes, who didn't look Aryan, master race. Y'all following this guy? And y'all talk about a master race, but that's your leader? Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then Napoleon with his little ass. How? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how these people rise to power and people follow them when they aren't really leadership, manly, or whatever we call manly. Oh my gosh. Help me understand this, Dante.
All right, so first, there's a bunch of things about what you said. You know that I was intricately involved with the Proud Boys.
I did not know this.
You really?
You were a Proud Boy?
I was a founder of the Proud Boys before you did not know this?
No, why just find it out that you were a Proud Boy?
That's what everybody said. I'll tell you what happened was I was doing my relationship stuff. I knew Gavin McInnes. I went on his show as we went on. I didn't know who he was. I went on a lot of people's shows, and I figured he'd be good because he had all these, these little soft, twerpy guys who listened to him, and that whole idea of white grievance. I went on and I was talking about authenticity, credibility, my mantra, ACE, and they would call me up. They gave me the moniker of Pope of the Proud Boys. This was before the whole thing, before it was like, I should just go on there. And the whole no wanks thing, where they don't masturbate, that was me. I said that I was 50-something years old and I stopped watching porn and I stopped masturbating because I felt that it desensitizes you to real intimate relationships. He goes, him and I had a bet. Me and Gavin McInnes, Gavin McInnes was the beginning guy.
Yes.
Who started Vice TV.
So weird.
And he every time I went on the show 16 times, every time I came on the show, they kept developing this. He called it the Proud Boys. He gave the 3 degrees where you get punched while you're trying to say breakfast cereals. The no wanks was one principle. Then they had a song, then he had a bell, and it just kept developing. It was really, honestly, it was a joke. But it was all these twerps and all these nerds and all these dudes with no game who found a place to be a part of something. And then they all were, you know, they're all nerds. They're all great with a website. So they had the most elaborate websites and chat rooms and all kinds of stuff. And it started to grow. And then I found out all the racist stuff. They had a private Facebook page. I found out about the racist stuff. And I was like to Gavin, yo, what's up with this N-word stuff? And he was like, he actually put a letter out denouncing people using the N-word and racist. But he was talking out of both sides of his face. Because when I was on there, they wasn't dropping no M-bombs and no. In fact, he's on my. If you go to my,
that's podcast, how you know that they're not about that life.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because if you really about that life, do it when Dante's there.